Shmai, cynnan o'r dyfodol eto. Jyst i roi heads up, mae'r pennod yma yn gyfrwng y Saesneg. Dwi'n ymddiheuro, ond o'n i'n recordio pennod ar podlediad James, sef o Who's Got the Ball podcast, gwyddal, dwi'n cyfarfod trwy'r cyfryngau yma. A o'n i'n meddwl, ti'n be, sa'n rei dda os o'n i'n dynnu yr un pennod mwyn cyfro'r ail hanner o drafft dwi heb di sôn amdano eto. Felly, one-off, mae hwn yn y Saesneg, dwi'n ymddiheuro heina oedd yn disgwyl iddi fod yn Gymraeg, ond just heads up i chi. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Gobeithio chi'n joio. Enw fi di Cynan Anwyl a ydych chi'n gwrando i Ydy'r Helmed yn Ffitio. Podlediad amdan yr NFL trwy gyfrwng y Gymraeg. Dyma be i ddisgwyl yn y bennod yma.
And his little head will be able to see him over the line, and we're in business. Bryce Young is cooking. I had to say. I actually like Bryce Young, but yeah, that was just right there for me to say.
Head.
You see Styles making a tackle, and you're like, what is this guy? He is like unbelievably strong, and he just like plows through people. And that just put the thoughts into my head that the Giants haven't had a guy like that for a while. So Conan is back again, special episode on the NFL draft. We're going to cover plenty, quick fire through the top 10, and then a lot more. But how are you? Welcome back to the show. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm good, James. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be back here. I've missed your face, so I've missed your voice. And I look forward to talking ball, because I've only gotten up to maybe pick 16. I recorded one of my own podcast episode, and I only got to pick 10, and I did another one, I only got to pick 16. So I'm looking forward to actually seeing the other 16 picks afterwards.
Yeah, I think people have heard that like a million times already, the top 10. So what we want to do first is just like look at the consensus top 10 based on can't remember the name of the website. I think it's literally just Mock Draft Simulator or something, but they take every single one that's out there, like from all the big names. It's like 116, and they just make a consensus. So we want to do that first, the top 10, and basically see where we could pick it apart a little bit. So that'll be quick, and then the rest I think is where it gets interesting from maybe 11 down. We've got some topics to hit on. So let's start with the top 10. The consensus mock, right? There's obviously no trades in this, but it has Mendoza going to Vegas. That's probably not much needs to be said about that.
Nah.
It's got Jets picking Arvel Reese, and that has 51% of mocks have that as the outcome. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's still a question mark, but we'll come back to that in a sec, because the next up they have the Cardinals taking David Bailey, and they have 30% of drafts taking that. So this is where I have questions, because I think Bailey could go to the Jets because it's a safer pick, and Glenn might play it a little bit safer. And I don't see the Cardinals picking Reese. I think they are trying to let everyone know that they're picking Jeremiah Love, and whether that's real or not, I don't know. But I think they're saying that if they stay there, they'll pick Love to try and bait someone else into trading up for it. But like, I think if Reese is still there, someone could trade up to take him either. So I don't know what you think. What do you think the Jets are going to go Reese, or will they go Bailey here?
Well, on my mock draft, I have them taking Arvel Reese as well.
Okay.
I'm trying to think, like I get, I don't know. It's really dependent on, because I'm not convinced with Arvel Reese being a really good edge rusher. I know he's put his name down as more of an edge rusher now than a linebacker.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not convinced that is his, best style playing anyway. And Jermaine Johnson's left to go to the Titans with Robert Saleh, hasn't he? So you're kind of missing that guy to set the edge there. And David Bailey is I mean, he's my favorite edge rush out of the draft anyway, or one of. So I get that, but then I don't know, James. We're not paid the big bucks to make these decisions, so I don't know if the Jets have seen something with Arvel Reese and gone, yeah, that is exactly what we need, or Aaron Glenn has said, no, he fits the system. This is exactly what we need. Whether it's because they now have, Demario Davis is back at the Jets, whether they want a young linebacker type to learn from him, I don't know. But then there's the argument of saying, oh, they could just pick Sonny Styles there. So I don't know. I think with Arvel Reese, it's a bit like jack of all trades, but master of none.
Yeah.
And whether you want to take that, you want to take that risk of, yeah, we'll go for him and hoping that he might click with one side or the other. So I don't know. I think I put him in my mock at 2 because I could see the Jets doing that more than anything else.
Yeah.
Whether it's the right thing to do is a whole other thing, but like that's why I see them doing, really.
Yeah, it's a bit of a risk to pick him, I think, more than it is a risk to pick Bailey, because like you said, you don't know exactly what you're going to get, but you could get something that is absolutely amazing. So I don't know whether the Jets want to take that risk or not. But yeah, I think they're going either Reese or Bailey there. I think a lot of like any other player, I don't think really should come into their minds at that point. The Cardinals being down as Bailey, I don't think that that's a situation I would see playing out unless they want to go like
No.
straight up best defensive player on the board. But I don't see them doing that because they went so heavy on their defense last year. So and it's a bit high to pick a tackle. So I really think they're just saying they want to pick Love so that they can move back.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree with you with that one. They got Nolan and was it Will Johnson was the name of the corner last year.
Yeah.
Will Johnson.
Yeah.
Even the thought of having David Bailey and Nolan, was it Walter Nolan on the same line, is quite a good look. But especially when you have no quarterback, you're probably gonna pick one in this draft. You want to give him the best chance possible to survive the year. So that's why I have them like picking a tackle this early in the draft.
Okay.
But yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't. They've had their fun playing about with defensive players last year. It's now time to focus on the other side, so then you can build up. Then
I think so. If they go tackle, do you think they just go for Maui Noah here, or
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I watched. I did like a list of my like top 5 favorite like O linemen.
Yeah.
And I had like during the mock draft stuff, I hadn't actually watched much film on him. I just knew like consensus he was the best one out there. And it's only until recently I've thought like, oh my god, he's actually like crazy good.
Yeah.
The guy's like massive. And I completely forgot. Of course, when I was watching Cam Ward last year the year before with Miami, and I was thinking, how has he got so much time in the pocket? And then you just see the behemoth at tackle. You just think, that's why. That is why. So like the guy is freakish. So I think that'll be. I think it's always good to when you draft a good tackle like a cornerstone player like that or like a centerpiece like that, it can set you up for great things later on down the road. Like you look at Penny Sewell with the Lions, you look at Tristan Wirfs, even Joel and Rashawn Slater. I know that is quite bad timing considering last year they were both injured, but you look at them and you think you are sorted for the next like 10 years. You don't have to worry about it. You just don't even have to stress that much about the quality of the quarterback behind the line. You just know that your run game is going to be sound and you're giving as much time for any quarterback back there to do whatever they want, really.
Yeah. I think it's the kind of pick that fans usually at the time they're like disappointed, even if they don't want to say it because it's like, oh, a tackle. But then it's
Yeah, I
always
know.
like this what the smart teams do. So yeah, I think if they did that, they would be probably in their best interest. But having said that, if they could move back a few spots, I feel like they could still get him a little bit later. Because I think other teams are after more flashy players. So that was a question I had in my mind. Where will the first tackle go? So I think that feeds into the rest of this conversation. The fact now this has the Titans in the consensus draft picking Jeremiah Love. 64% of drafts have him there. Like, yeah, I think they say that they want to pick him, but like, if David Bailey is still there, like, are you telling me that Robert Saleh is going to go? No, I don't want David Bailey. Like, he's the head coach there now. If it's up to him,
Yeah.
if it's up to him, he's either going to go with Bailey or Styles. Like, he's going to want his Fred Warner for this defense. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, everyone is saying Love, but I don't know if the Titans actually do it.
My recently, for some reason, my like social media page has become like a Jeremiah Love fan page, and I haven't meant for that to happen really, but I've been like adamant that the Titans will pick him with the fourth,
Mm.
and I think I think you are entirely right. Like, probably not the best thing to be doing when your entire team needs work all over the place. And if you're wanting to put a running back in when you don't even have a competent offensive line, we're
Yep.
just going to have another season like Ashton Genty had
Yes.
with the Raiders last year, when you're spending so much on a high pick and you're not getting the reward for it. But there's also a part of me that's like, seeing Jeremiah Love and Cam Ward in the backfield together, there's not a bad partnership at all. So yeah, whether that's me both thinking head and heart there or
Yeah.
whatever, but I just think, I don't know. I think Robert Saleh's done. He's already made a couple moves with defense, hasn't he?
Mm.
Because he's got his own system that he wants in. He wants, whether it's something similar to what I think he wants something similar to what he had at the Jets when he had, because obviously that's why he's picked up Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah.
Probably he just knows that that's his guy. So
They
whether,
picked up
I
multiple
don't know.
Jets and Giants players because of Dayball coming in there too, which is like funny because they're like losing franchises over the last few years, and they've gone and paid these guys. Like,
Yeah.
the amount they paid Wandale Robinson is outrageous. Like,
I
it's
haven't seen it. I don't know how much you paid.
he's on. I think he got like 70 something million over 4 years.
Oh my
So
god.
yeah, they're really paid him, and they've done that with a number of. I also paid Giants cornerback. Why is it gone off my head now? It'll come back to me. But the amount they paid him was way too much. Basically, the Giants didn't want to match it, and he was good. He had a breakout year last year, but still, it's like signing players from losing franchises is questionable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Jeremiah Love is probably the best player in the draft. So if they go with him, look, they're getting a great player. We'll move
Yeah,
on then
exactly.
to the next three here. The way it has it is Giants picking Sonny Styles 34%, the Browns picking Carnell Tate 42%, and the Commanders picking Caleb Downs 14%. I think
Oh, okay.
that this is kind of probably like the fact it's a combination. So they still have like Maui Noah ranked above some of these players in consensus boards, but there's no place for him in it because the basically the way they've done the
Yeah.
percentages is different. So I think it's not exact, but there was a lot about the Giants picking Styles at 5. Now that's cooled off a little bit over the last few days. I don't know. I think they should pick Sonny Styles, to be honest. because we need an actual leader on the defense. But we're looking to run that Ravens style defense, and we've brought in an ex-Ravens DB coach as our defensive coordinator. So it really makes sense to go with Downs at this point. He fits that exact mold. And Kyle Hamilton is one of my favorite players to watch in the league, and if he could anywhere close to him, it's worth it at 5. I know there's questions, like I heard some guys being like, you're just picking a big nickel at 5, and that's just like completely disrespectful to the way that
that is
Downs
foul.
plays. So yeah, I think for me, the way I see it, it's most likely to be Downs. Browns for me, I think, are going to pick Tate, and then Commanders, I think, will pick Styles. I think that he'll still be there, and I think they'll pick him. If the Giants don't pick him, then I think, and he's still there at 7, the Commanders have to take him.
So, what is your opinion on Sonny Styles? Like, is it the combine that's made you think like this guy's legit, or did you always think he was legit beforehand?
I thought when you look at, it's funny because you can just do the 2-in-1 job when you're watching the Downs and Styles tape, like they're on the same lineup, and then you're like,
Yeah.
right, you're hearing all this about Downs, and then you're watching some of their snaps, and you're like, oh, he looks good, like he looks good, but then you're like, you see Styles making a tackle, and you're like, what is this guy? He is like unbelievably strong, and he just like plows through people, and that just put the thoughts into my head that the Giants haven't had a guy like that for a while. And Micah McFadden was on IR last year, and he's a pretty good linebacker. And the thought then of him and Styles together was coming into my mind, and then the combine added to it. So I was just like, all of this put together, I just see it as a really good combination. Even though I still would be really happy if we took Downs. I'm not going to be disappointed either way. As long as we take one of those two, I think then we'll be in a good position. But yeah.
Yeah. I'm worried that Sonny Styles might be like another Isaiah Simmons situation, where it's like this like athletic freak
Yeah.
that was like, he was so good in college,
Yeah.
and like consensus, everyone was like, this is the greatest athlete we've ever seen in our lives, and then they get to the NFL and it's just like subpar. That's the
Yeah.
one thing I'm worried about him, because before the combine, it was Jacob Rodriguez, obviously.
Yeah.
It was a void for the Heisman. I mean, not that many votes, but he was still voted for the Heisman. I know CJ Allen is another that
Yeah.
a lot of people like. So like all of a sudden now, no one's even saying either of them after the
Yeah.
combine. It's like, oh, it's Sonny Styles, which is like, give the guy credit. He was unbelievable in the combine. He was a freak. Like, he was brilliant. But I just worry a little bit that people, I don't know, yeah, whether that's me just being a usual Saints fan, a glass half empty type of guy, being a pessimist, but I don't know. I'm just scared.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I had enough of the Isaiah Simmons experience already. So if that's like even a thought, I don't want to be part of that again. But like, yeah, I've heard that argument as well about the athletic freak and does it translate? But then there's some snaps where you watch Caleb Downs and you're like, what on earth is he doing? But you get that with all players. But I thought there was sometimes I did think is a little bit questionable the way he was. But I feel like that was earlier in his college career, and he's definitely
Okay.
improved. And I think just the physical size of him as well at safety is like, and just the thing in my mind then is also that the Giants paid Javon Holland last year, and he was absolutely useless. Like, and now we're gonna pick another safety. Like, I don't even think Tyler Nubin is that bad. So now what are we gonna do? Like, what is Holland actually gonna do? Like, is Holland gonna play like nickel corner or something? I don't know. Like, we have no cornerbacks either, so that's good. But Look,
So that's good.
yeah, this is not
That's
all about the
great.
Giants, but I think whoever doesn't pick this, whoever the Giants don't pick, I think that's who ends up on the Commanders because they have a lot of issues, and I think they go best player available probably. And
Yeah.
then the Browns is obviously in between. I think they take Carnell Tate. I know you probably don't want to hear that because that's probably
No,
who
I
you
don't,
want for
but
the Saints, but I think they do.
no.
And that's what it has here. The last three, then we'll just go through them, and then I'll come back to you on this because I want to know what you think. But it has the Saints picking
Okay.
Ruben Bain, 24% of mocks. Then it has the Chiefs picking Mansour Delane, 25%. And then it has the Giants picking Tyson at wide receiver with 26% of mocks.
Yeah.
So we'll touch on Chiefs and Giants in a sec, but what do you think about the Saints? Since you're a Saints fan, I want to know who you think they'll pick, but who you want them to pick as well, because those can also be different answers.
Right. So in my mock, I also had the Browns taking Carnell Tate because I just thought like they're not gonna pass up on him, even though I want him. They're not
Yeah.
gonna pass up on him because some silly Welshman is sat in his room. Just it says so. But whether whether I am clearly misunderstanding the game of football or I'm clearly not seeing something that everyone else is seeing. Why is everyone so adamant that the Saints need an edge rusher straight off the bat?
Mm,
Because we've don't agree with it, but we paid Chase Young
yeah.
big money. Now you don't pay someone big money and then think, we need someone else. Like if you paid someone big money, you can afford to wait a little bit because the edge rushers are quite stacked. There's quite a lot. You don't have to go all out straight off the get go and get a Ruben Bain or a David Bailey. So I really don't get where this narrative for edge rushers to the Saints being a priority has come from. Whether you think I'm a silly boy is another thing, but I had because in my mock the Browns taking Carnell Tate, I had us taking Mansour Delane
Mm,
from LSU, and that was based on like I know. Well, Lonte Taylor's gone. He's gone to some silly team in New Jersey way. And then Kool Aid hasn't been the guy that everyone's like expecting him to be. Like he's been all right, but he hasn't been like the guy. I think having another young cornerback, talented one as well, like Delane, and it's like a lot of people are you know batting backwards and forwards between Delane and Jamad McCoy is another one, but I think Delane is more. I think he's more proven because he's played in this last year, and I think the style that he plays as well. I think he would suit us.
yeah.
I just think like especially with Demario Davis going and Alonzo Taylor and whatever, I feel like we are a little bit weaker in defense now, even though wide receiver is still like, oh, that is a priority. But like, we could, I know we could pick a Makai Lemon or a Jordan Tyson here, but I've more faith in Delane giving us the rewards at that like pick
Yeah.
than the other two.
Yeah, I think
I get, yeah.
that's probably the most logical thing. I think ever since it's not like corner has been like a massive weakness, but since like Lattimore left, it's like you want that big
Mm,
name there in that position. And
yeah.
I think he would be the most logical pick. I actually would love for him to be there at 10 so the Giants select him. I don't think he lasts that long because I would rather him than Tyson because I think Tyson, the fact that he absolutely destroyed his knee, like did the big three, like tore all three ligaments, is really alarming, especially when
You make you sound like you did it on purpose.
I know, but I'm saying like it's a big thing that when a player goes through that kind of an injury. Also, he's not that strong through contact, so I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, and Neighbours is just coming off a knee injury, so I'm actually not like too upset if the Giants wait till a later round to pick a receiver, because we've got Neighbours obviously is like bona fide number one, and then from there, I like what we've actually done in this off season. I think Darnell Mooney was a good pickup. We still have Darius Slayton. It
Yeah.
looks like OBJ is going to sign back just for the vibes. So
Yeah, just for the vibes. Yeah.
let's get
You've
someone.
also got you've also got the GOAT. You got Jalen Hyatt there as well. The-
I saw something today of someone being like OBJ coming back into the Giants facility, and it's that clip where the guy like rips the t-shirt straight off the guy's back, and it's like, this is Jalen Hyatt. I just get rid of him, man. He's just useless. Like, he's so bad. Like, that draft class sucked so bad. Oh my god, Joe Shane.
That
How
is
he is still
my
fair.
worst. That's my worst draft take of all time. When I said, I think before that draft, I was like, "Oh my god, Jalen Hyatt is like so good." Like,
Yeah.
and I drafted him in almost every single fantasy league because I was like, "Oh, he's a sleeper. You guys are not ready for Jalen Hyatt."
I think he
And I
played
guess no
probably
one
like
was.
10 snaps in that season. Like,
Yeah, it was. I think he only got like 3 receptions. I think it was something stupid like that.
yeah. Last year, multiple games where he was just like a healthy scratch. I was like, are we still doing this? Like, please give up on him now. But yeah, I think Tyson is not a need. I would rather delay in there, but obviously I think he could be gone. I've seen the Chiefs here, right? So they have the Delane going to the Chiefs, obviously, because they have Ruben Bain going to the Saints. I think if Delane was still there, I don't see them picking him. But I think we'll get into that as we look at the back end of the draft, because the reasoning behind it is because of
Yeah,
the Chiefs' later pick. So now we've covered the top
yeah.
10. Let's move into the the less talked about part of the draft, and probably the more interesting part. So picks 11 through 32. We'll start off. I've got like a list of locks basically that I think a team goes either for an exact player or they go for an exact position. So let me know what
Yeah.
you think and if you have any other thoughts here. First up,
Okay.
if the Rams don't move out of 13, I think they pick receiver. If Tyson is gone, they take Lemon.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I I'm gonna say I agree with it, but for some reason in this mock draft I had them picking Spencer Fano. So like I don't know why I put that in. But I definitely see I definitely see, like you said, if they're still there,
Hmm.
they gotta go receiver there, I think. I really don't know why I put Spencer Fano. Like I could have lied as well. I could have said I put someone else there. No, I'm an honest man. Honest man. I put Spencer Fano in there. But no, I agree. Like you got Devontae Adams is slowly, getting on now. I don't know what's going on with Puka Nakua. I
Oh,
like
geez.
someone please check his brain. So I think they are starting to worry. They're like, okay, we kind of need
Yeah.
someone to come in here. So I think out of the two, if both of them were still available, I think they would go Lemon.
Hmm.
I think even though maybe whether Jordan Tyson is, the better receiver out of both on like when he's healthy, you just have to put the asterisk of when he's healthy.
Yeah.
Like, he just can't stay healthy. So I don't think the Rams can afford that with what's going on and in camp at the moment. So yeah, I agree with that. I see him taking Lemon, especially if both were still there at the time.
Yeah. I think it's a safer pick. Because I did see a lot of stuff around Tyson going there, but I don't know. I think that they might do the smarter thing. And they might not be in their hands because Tyson could be gone off the board. But I think if they go for Lemon, I think it's smart because they're all in on Stafford. And you said like you don't know why you put Fano there, but I feel like that would be not the stupidest thing to do because last year when they had I'm not sure which one of their tackles went down, but it was the game against the Falcons, and like Stafford nearly died in that game. Like, and this is the Falcons. Like, this isn't a playoff game, so
Yeah, exactly.
they're very weak behind their first set of tackles. So I think it wouldn't be the worst thing, but also they want to go big, so they're probably not going tackle.
No, exactly.
Next up, I have at 14 the Ravens picking Ioane.
Yeah.
I think they go that way. I think he's just a fit for the team and future proofs them as well for that position. So, what's your take on that?
Completely agree. I mean, this mock draft is now outdated because of the Giants trade. Because I had Ioane going to the Bengals at the
Okay.
time. But now 100%, I like it's all over. It's all I see on social media. It's just like Ioane to the Ravens. Everyone. Do you know what the consensus on that one was? Like with the
I can
the
pull
mock
it up.
draft
I can pull it
percentages.
up now while you're talking.
I
But
don't wanna. I don't wanna.
no, I just have
Okay,
it in my
I'll
history.
try and keep talking at the same time. I'll try to keep talking at the same time. But no, yeah. I see. I forget what his name was. It
Ioane.
Is it Falalele? No, Fafale.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Yeah.
the name of the guard that they have. What's the name of the guard that the Ravens have at the moment? It's like
Mm,
Fafalele or something like that.
mm,
See, now I'm gonna type and I'm gonna have to. Hold on. Oh no.
no, I think
Ravens.
you're just.
Fa Lele. There we go. Sorry,
Okay.
I added too many F's. Fa Lele. I like. Oh wait. He's gone. Yeah,
Yeah,
of
I don't
course.
think
He's
he's
gone
there
to.
anymore. Yeah.
He's your problem now. No, he's your problem now.
Yeah, but he's just like one of our many options of someone who's not going to play. If the
But I
Ravens
think
gave up
okay.
on
Well,
him.
even more so.
Yeah.
Oh well, because he was appalling. That's
Yes,
why.
that would be why. Yeah.
And I think and I think, well, even more so, more of a reason why Ioane is gonna join them. They need a competent guard. And I watched the film on all these linemen, and Ioane is just like it looks like men against boys basically when he's playing. Like sneaky quick feet as well for such a large man. Like his footwork is so good.
Yeah.
And I think especially when you're playing at a such a big college like Penn State as well, it kind of proves you a little bit more, or you're more proven. So I think Yuan is a great fit there, and I think is also like, even though like in this mock because he'd gone, I had the Ravens picking Tyson because they have consistently not drafted a wide receiver like a competent one for Lamar. I know they drafted Zay Flowers, but I'm not convinced by Zay Flowers. So I think, yeah, Ioane, I think that's a great fit, really, and it's just someone else to look after Mr. Jackson back there as well.
Yeah, I have the consensus here, and there's only one other player outside the top 4 that has a higher consensus percentage.
Oh my
So
god!
yeah, he's 46% to go. He's in
Wow.
46% of drafts to go there, and that leads me into my next, because the guy who I have next is the highest. He's the highest in the entire draft, other than Fernando Mendoza, and that is. Can you guess? You'll kick it with a
Wait,
guess.
right? Is this? I'm guessing it's not a team that we covered.
No, it's outside the top
No.
10. A lock to go somewhere, and he's in 66% of people's mock drafts to go there.
Oh my god.
Safety.
Oh, oh, of course. Is it right? Is it Dylan Thieneman to the Vikings?
Yes, it is indeed, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just like people. First of all, people just went like, "Yeah, Harrison Smith replacement. Let's just plug it
Literally.
in." So, and then
Literally.
everything else actually makes sense around it. But before anything made sense, that was just like the first thing.
Oh, yeah, of course it was. It was. Oh my God! There's an athletic white safety. It's a Harrison Smith regen. We have to have him. I watched. I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the guy. But he has like quite a popular YouTube like channel, and he's a Vikings fan, and he was going through his mock draft, and he was like, "Yeah, I have the Vikings picking Dylan Thieneman, but not because he's a white safety. He doesn't even play. So he doesn't even play like Harrison Smith. So please stop saying that." No,
Yeah,
I see that.
yeah. I think that one is a fairly likely situation if he's still there, of course. But if it's a need for them, and then after that, the only other guy I have as like someone I'm really convinced is gonna go. If Kenyon Sadiq is still there, I think he goes the next pick then to the Panthers. I think they need to go for
Ooh.
something for Bryce Young. They need to go and get him a weapon, another weapon. I don't think they go
Yeah.
receiver after last year. Like they literally just had the offensive rookie of the year. So yeah, don't like waste another pick there when you're in a nice position. I think get another tight end. The league is getting reliant on big, strong tight ends that can do a lot of things for you. So I think it would be smart for them to go after him.
I had Sadiq going to the Bucks.
Okay,
I
earlier.
thought
So
I thought I thought that Cade Otton's time has come to an end. Well, not to an end, but he doesn't give you that. He's yeah. I'm not saying he's like dying anytime soon, but as in like he's. I think like he's just not big play tie end as maybe he was. Well, not even that much a couple of years ago. So I think Kenyon Sadiq, especially Mike Evans gone. Sadiq is more like he's more of a receiving tie end anyway. He's a glorified wide receiver. He's just massive.
mhm.
So I think like having someone like that with Baker, I think it really helps him out a lot. I know a lot of Panthers fans want Sadiq there. Um, because Sadiq had gone in my mock, I had Omar Cooper Jr. going
Yeah.
to the Panthers. I just think that very fair point that T Mac is there, and you don't really want to bring. Well, yeah, you got to think about the locker room, and if you brought in another wide receiver from the first round, then are you setting a precedent there? But I think the depth that they have at that position is just like, well,
Mhm.
it's shallow. There's no depth there. It's very shallow pool of players there. So I think adding Omar Cooper Jr. there, whether he can be at a push, your wide receiver two, probably just a solid wide receiver three to start off with now,
Mhm.
and then seeing where that takes you really. Um, so that's why I had. But like if Sadiq passes, doesn't get picked up by Bucks, then I definitely do see the Panthers picking him up. Like you said, just add another weapon for Bryce Young in a way.
Yeah, I think he can do a lot as well. Like you said, he can be like heavily relied upon as a receiver. Um,
Mm.
because I actually think that Jatavian Sanders was pretty good for them last year. The Panthers, like he wasn't the worst tight end in the league. So I think if he plays as like a general tight end, but you don't pass him the ball that much, and you want to play in two tight end sets, you can just keep feeding with
Yeah,
Sadiq. Like, I mean,
yeah,
he then doesn't become an issue because he's fine. He's serviceable, Sanders. But you're like, oh, that's okay. We're giving maybe Young a little bit more protection there, and then Sadiq is a big body
yeah.
and his little head will be able to see him over the line, and we're in business. Bryce Young is cooking. I had to say.
Oh,
I actually like Bryce Young, but yeah, that was just right there for
his
me to say.
little head. His little head. That's
Let's move on
fine.
from that. From that.
Oh god.
So
His
those are
little
my
head.
like 4 that I think are, if they're there, the team is definitely going to take them. Do you have anyone else along
Yeah.
those lines?
What, as in, like, if they're still there, then it's
Yeah,
like a
like a
lock.
team that if a guy is still there, that is who they're going to pick. Like, there's no way around it.
I think maybe two push here. I have, even though he's fallen, or he's like, yeah, he's fallen down a lot of mock drafts out there, and people don't rate him as much anymore. But I thought Caden Proctor um was a real, like, Detroit Lion player.
Mm,
I thought the way that he played, and I think that is someone that Dan Campbell would love to have, because I'm just picturing the Alabama play where they threw him the screen. And I just think, like, it's just like someone like that who, not obviously not a tackle that you could throw screens to, but
yeah.
just someone that, I don't know, I think can play on the line, has that little bit of something to them, like your Penny Sewell. Not saying he's
Mm,
as good as Penny Sewell at all, but I think having someone, a tackle like that, who kind of fits the maybe the Detroit Lion mentality, or the ethos or the vibe that they're trying to get there.
yeah,
I think he'd be a good fit, especially if he's learning behind Penny Sewell, which is crazy to say considering how young Penny Sewell is now. But
yeah.
that was one. Um, and then the other one, very funny that I think we're on the same wavelength here. So you mentioned the Chiefs before. So you mentioned that they'd probably pick up a corner later on rather than beforehand. My mock, I had them picking Ruben Bain with the ninth,
Right.
and then now with the 29th pick, I had them picking Avion Terrell.
Okay.
Um, Okay, whether you like that or not is
Well,
another
I didn't
thing.
have exactly Terrell, but I had maybe Chris Johnson or Colton Hood here either. But yeah, the same idea.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Have I reached a little bit on Terrell?
I don't think you've reached. I think they're all in like a similar vein, but
Okay,
maybe,
fine.
yeah, I don't know. I think whatever way you want to look at it, I don't think there's a whole pile of a difference between picking those 3. And I think Chris Johnson is being mocked a little bit late. I think he's actually pretty good. And he
Mm.
could be a good first round option, but Colton Hood is also going pretty high. I don't know, like, is he as I don't know, you could go anywhere, right? I think we're on the same wavelength, as in that they're gonna go cornerback late.
I think maybe I'm suffering from the Sonny Styles curse here. Maybe I just saw Terrell's combine and I thought, oh my god, this guy is incredible. So that's why I had them there. But I have Jamad McCoy going before him. That's why I haven't put McCoy there.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I think those are my two locks really. Like the Patriots and Seahawks, I had them picking, like, I think maybe positional wise. Like I had the Patriots picking an interior defensive lineman, and then the Seahawks getting an edge rusher.
Yeah.
Whether those two positions are locks there, because I don't think there is a running back um, really worthy of being picked in the first round again after
Mm,
Jeremiah Love. Like I wouldn't put Jadarian Price there, even though I liked him, and I wouldn't put Mike Washington there. But you know what? I guarantee you this, okay? Guarantee you this, because of Mike Washington's 4-yard dash time, someone in this first round is going to pick him. I guarantee you, because the people just love the 4-yard dash. They just love it. So I see him for some reason getting picked, but I wouldn't. I don't see it. Like I don't see that player as a first round talent.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
I think on those points, probably a lot of people are mocking Jadarian Price to the Seahawks, and I actually agree. I think it's a bit of a reach, to be honest, because he looks good, but I don't know, like for the amount of snaps he played, and also for the level you can actually bank on. Is he a first round running back? Like, I don't know if you could stand
Yeah,
on that and
exactly.
say that he is. So I think the Seahawks are pretty smart, and I don't think they're going to reach for someone that they would have those same feelings about. Um, and then in terms of positional need, I think that's a great shout on the Patriots needing a D lineman. I think if for them Caden McDonald was available, that's somebody they should go
Mm,
after. I think just the general pedigree of being an Ohio State um, defensive player in general, but he looked very good overall for them. Somebody who can actually put pressure on the interior for them is important, because we saw in the Super Bowl, and we saw in the entire playoffs, really, like
yeah,
their interior defensive line wasn't good enough, and their offensive line had questions as well. So I don't know what's available at this point for us offensive line that you could go, that's a first round talent at the back end.
yeah.
Whereas
No,
if
I
you
agree.
pick McDonald, he is a first round talent, and some people have him slipping into the second. I think if you pick him up in the second, you're laughing, like.
Yeah, that is nuts. Like I have him because in my mock, Thieneman has gone to the Jets with 16th.
Okay,
Um, and then I have the Vikings picking up Caden McDonald
okay, 18.
with the 18th pick.
Yeah,
And then where else do I have? And then I have Caleb Banks going to the Texans with 28th. So
okay,
then because of that, I have the Patriots picking Peter Woods from
yeah,
Clemson. And then I have the Seahawks. So talking about the edge rusher, I have them picking Cassius Howell from Texas A&M. I really liked him. I watched the film beforehand. I then watched the combine. I was like, this guy is like, he's got really good bend. He is so like shifty and quick, considering how big he is. And then everyone started pointing out his little T-Rex arms, just like Ruben Bain.
yeah,
And then it hit me. I watched his 40, and I was like, I can't not look at these short arms anymore.
mm,
Like they look really really short. So I think he's a great talent, but whether in the next level now the arm length is and like a considerable hindrance to him, I don't know.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, I'm looking at his measurements here, and it's the same as Ruben Bain. Like, he has the same arm length, pretty much, exactly.
oh really?
Yeah. So I don't know if you're not concerned about it for Bain. I know there's not the same. Some people don't have the same grading on the two of them, but like, I mean, it shouldn't be a massive issue. And if you look on, like, Dane Brugler obviously has everyone ranked in the Beast, the athletic guide that he has. Like, and
Mm.
I think it's way too low. Like, he's got Cassius Howell ranked ninth out of edges in the draft class.
What?
Yeah, he's got Reese, Bailey, Bain. Okay, fine. Then he's got Keldrick Falk, Hakeem Mesidor, TJ Parker,
Yeah.
Malachi Lawrence, Zion Young, and then Cassius Howell.
Yeah, a lot of people are starting to get hot on Zion Young now as well. Um, okay,
I mean, he
I don't
doesn't have the
know.
same speed.
Keldrick,
Like, yeah.
no,
Um,
I don't. Like I was watching. What was it Keldrick Falk? I wasn't convinced
mm,
as much. He's like massive,
he's just huge.
but I
Like,
wasn't as convinced. Yeah, exactly. Like everyone in the NFL, everyone is huge,
yeah,
so it doesn't work as much. Um, and then I watched. I know Coach Gruden doesn't know that he can't predict every single thing ever, but he also wasn't convinced by Keldrick Falk. So
okay.
if he's not convinced by him, that means I am also not. That's how it works. If he's not, then I'm also not. I don't know why, bro. I really don't know why I brought him up. I just felt. I think it was just in the back of my head, and I was like, I'll bring up his name as if
Yes.
like he was sat here with me and we were both watching film together.
Isn't that
Not
right,
as
John?
if I.
Yeah, John. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Could you imagine? I was actually just sat there the entire time, just didn't want to say anything.
Pull up the film, John.
Yeah.
Let's do. Let's do.
No, it's not nicey. No.
Christ. Not everything is nicey, John.
Yeah, God, stop it.
Okay, let's do our hard counts.
Stupid.
Oh, John, please. You've been over us.
Yeah. I watched that today. What's his name? Sawyer Robinson, the QBO Baylor, and he had the fake claps as well. So he was like, "Oh, what's your snap count?" And he was like, and then actually clapped. And coach was like, "Don't ever do that ever again."
Yeah. I love the Jackson Dart one where he just stands up and he just smiles and he just like, and then
Yeah, no, he's
Gruden is just says like, "You've been clapping for 4 years."
Yeah, that was it. And you see his face is like, oh.
Yeah. But back to the edge class. I actually think that if you wanted someone who's kind of bigger, but maybe has some more traits that'll help them in the NFL, you could look at Malachi Lawrence from UCF.
Yeah,
He's a bit of a
I really like him.
bit of a unit, like, and he played for 5 years, so he's got the experience. And yeah, 253, 6'4", and then his 40-yard dash was 4.52, which is crazy for his size.
That's absurd. That's
yeah.
absurd.
Like if you look at Fox, it was 4.67, and Lawrence is the fastest get off out of everybody here. Like even Arvel Reese, his 10-yard is 1.58, but Lawrence is 1.57 on his 10-yard. So he has crazy burst. I think whoever gets him is kind of like someone that people aren't talking about so much, but they're gonna be like, how did we not pick him up? Like he's one of the few years that is like, oh, we messed up here.
1,000,000%. He is like, there is absolutely no one talking about him, and is crazy. He is like, he's a freak.
Yeah.
I watched tape on him, and it's just like, this guy is just nuts.
Yeah.
Like
So
what was it? What was it? Average overall rank. He's ranked average 52nd best player in the draft.
it's way too low. Way too low.
And 15th average position rank in the edge rusher class, which is absurd.
15th.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
According to NFL Draft Buzz, do not slander me. It was NFL Draft Buzz that said it, not me.
Yeah, I'm just looking at okay, Brugler has him a bit higher at least. Like, he might be low on some people, but he's got him 36 and 7th edge, so I think that's a bit more reasonable.
Okay, that's yeah.
Yeah, but I think so. We've covered off kind of some of the later questions and some of the players that could go to the teams that were in the Super Bowl, which is always an interesting one because you're like, it's usually someone that they let go. But for the Patriots, it's like they have needs still, very large needs in their team. But I had a couple of questions, and one of them we already touched on because it was the Chiefs possibly later on taking a corner. I thought they could take a tackle, maybe at the start, but if Bain is still there, I think they are the type of team that ends up with an unbelievable talent like Bain. And you're like, how did he end up on the Chiefs? And then they still get a good corner. The other question I had was on the first round, a similar question. Do the Browns go with Carnell Tate and then a tackle? Or do they facilitate a trade with somebody who wants to move up and pick in the top and just get themselves a later receiver because they've got what pick do they have? 16 as their
24.
24, yeah. I'm off there when I say 16. Oh yeah, that's the Jets. That's
No,
the Jets' second pick.
it's close. In
I
the
was
grand
wondering
scheme of
why I
things,
was
they're close.
confused, but it was because the Jets got that one from Indy. But yeah, so 24. Do they just take a receiver there and do something in line with a bit of a trade? Like what I have here is a possibility that the Browns or Giants trade back with the Cowboys so that the Cowboys can pick Styles at 5 or 6, and then you've got the Browns picking a tackle and then a wide receiver later. Or another
Yeah.
thought to add to that before I throw it to you is Cowboys could move up with the Cardinals if the Jets take Bailey and they want to take Reese at 3.
Ooh, okay.
Go with that kind of a linebacker option.
I've consistently or constantly had in my head that Sonny Styles in Dallas is like the perfect matchup or perfect pairing. I don't know why. Like I literally have no reasoning why that is a better fit than any other team. It just in my head it just makes sense, and I don't have the words to kind of explain it. So possibly the worst thing anyone who is on an NFL podcast can really say is I don't really have the words to explain why. But okay, so the Browns, I could see them. It's whether they wanna, because I think Carnell Tate is the more polished receiver out of the three. Maybe his ceiling isn't as high, but I think his floor is higher than the other two out of the top three. So maybe they go with him because that is the safest, and whether they can't afford to trade down. But if they, if they think that we'll take any of the three, then 100%. Maybe I'm trying to see here. Yeah, I think going down to draft to trade with the Cowboys.
You'd be in
Who
12
else would
then.
they have? Yeah, and then they could pick up. I reckon they could pick up one of the top three that's left. So whether that is Tate, Lemon, or Tyson, one of them three will still be there, I think. But yeah, in this mock, I did have the Browns taking a tackle with the 24th. So whether I don't know whether them trading down starts to like panic other teams to pick more like receivers or whatever, and it kind of leaves them with a better tackle afterwards. I don't know, but yeah, I had them picking who is he? Blake Miller there, because there was a bunch of tackle. Yeah, there were a bunch of tackles that went before him as well, but he looks good. So yeah, that's who I had. I can't really think because my mind isn't that quick, so I can't I can't think off the top of my head like who would trade up. Let's see. Yeah, the Cowboys would trade up. Who else would like to trade up? You know what? Maybe even like the Bears would trade up just to, I don't know what their draft capital looks like, but to make sure that they get like an animal at edge rush or D line. I think that is their priority.
I also had a
So I could
potential
see
of
them drafting.
the Rams trading up because if they wanted a receiver that badly and they got a bit antsy, like they could move up.
Yep.
They've got a good relationship, it seems, with the Chiefs. They could trade up with them. They just did the trade for in the off season for McDuffie. So they could move up from 13. They have the Atlantis pick to 9. And then you've got the Chiefs at 13, and the Chiefs are probably going to be still happy to get a tackle there at that point.
Yeah, and I think with the Rams doing that, then you are definitely getting one one of the three top receivers there.
Yeah.
I think they could snipe Mackay Lemon before the Dolphins do, according to my mock. So they could do that. This draft is like I don't remember any other draft where it was like completely like after the first pick, it is fair game. Like that you can't really pinpoint much. It
Yeah.
is so open and frantic, like it could go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I can't remember the last draft that was anywhere close to being like that.
Yeah, me neither. I think there's so many different ways that this could go. And you could tell from our conversation, like we have so many different things that teams need and so many
Yeah,
different ways that it
exactly.
could go. So it's like you can
Yeah.
mock it out all you want, but realistically there's always going to be someone there. Like I did a mock and I made a note of some guys left in the second. Now some of them are guys we've mentioned, like Peter Woods was still there, Blake Miller was still there, Emmanuel McNeil Warren was still there. These are all like first round ish talents. Denzel Boston was still there. Like somebody could come up and take him late in the first round. I
Yeah.
just think that even Chris Johnson, Caleb Banks, like these guys are. This is in like a mock, obviously, so things can change. But if I did it again, it could be someone else is available. So it shows that even based on this simulation of everybody's predictions that nobody knows where anyone is going.
No.
So I think that's why it's a really interesting year. Because it could go anyway. And I saw today like Peter Schrager from NFL Network, he sounded like he was taking shots in the video he posted, but he was like basically saying that the insiders, he didn't say the insiders like the words the insiders, but he was like saying, "Oh, you've got these guys here on draft day, like 3 minutes before the pick comes in, tweeting out like, oh, I know who's going to be picked,' and everybody is reading that and like reposting it, and you're just ruining it for yourself. Just put your phone down during the draft and watch it like a
Yeah,
fan, and be surprised when things happen and when a
exactly.
trade happens, and actually enjoy it for what it is. Don't be trying to find out ahead of time, because the only person you're fooling in that case is yourself, because you're taking the enjoyment out of it."
Exactly. No, 100%. Yeah. Like who cares if realistically who cares if they get to know 3 minutes before the pick? Like what? It spoils it really. I think yeah, like you said, you're just taking the fun out of it, and it's less. You see it, I don't know, you just see it in a different light than when it's just like, oh, I already know like what's
Yeah.
happening. It's like when you're watching uh a football game and it's slower than the notifications
Yeah.
from Sky Sports or something. It's like stuff like that. I hate stuff like that. Or and then you get your mate going, "Oh, someone just scored now," and it's like,
Yeah.
shut up, shut up. Why do you have to tell me?
Yeah.
Why?"
Yeah,
Um,
just because you know doesn't mean
yeah,
everyone
just
else has to know.
yeah, exactly. Let me enjoy it, man. Listen. I'm not on my phone for a reason. I don't want to know.
Exactly. I
But
think we're
so in that same aspect, why scroll through Twitter during the draft?
yeah.
Don't just stay out of it. Just stay out of it.
I think that's the perfect way to end this episode. I think we covered off so much, and like that is something you should take home if you're going to watch the draft. Um, and although everyone is down on it, like these insider guys said, it's not as good as next year and it's a weaker class. I think there's a lot of good players and there's a lot of interest in storylines and a potential for a lot of trades. So I do think it'll be
Yes.
interesting. So
Mm.
hopefully you all enjoy it, and those are our thoughts on it. But appreciate you coming back on once again, and we won't leave it as long the next time.
No, thank you very much, James. I do hope I haven't like rambled and just spouted nonsense, basically. And I will make sure to pester you soon, so then we don't leave it as long as last time.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Nice one.